Alright, YouTube, without a cleaning tank, how are you going to clean your parts? Well, here's what you do. You get some parts cleaner and some Dawn, as you can see next to the pressure washer. There's Dawn. Mix them together and get yourself a bin and have at it. Hey YouTube, this is J and T Customs. I'm Jay.
I'm T.
And how are you doing? So, again, you don't need a tremendous amount of money to do this. Get yourself a bin, buy yourself a gallon of parts cleaner at Harbor Freight, pour it in, mix it up with a little bit of Dawn and a power washer. And even if you don't have a power washer, you can just sit here with a paintbrush and get in all the little spots. Just clean it up a little bit here and there, just like that. Just take your time and clean it up, and it will actually, all of a sudden, it'll come clean. Alright guys, here's our 4.6 heads that we got at a junkyard. Do not be disarray or upset at the condition of the blackness that it's in. That's normal for a 4.6 liter because the cooling on them are terrible, and that's what happens. A little bit of work, the head will actually look like this when it's finished. So we're putting on our new springs, new retainers, reconditioned valves. These are the intake. Now I'm going to work on the exhaust. Let's talk about that for a second. Alright, see this here? That is a bad valve. See all the pits in it? No good. NG. That valve has to get cut. Cannot reuse it. That is not crap or carbon buildup on the valve. That's actual pits in the valve itself. Shop inspector's here. Hey dude. Oh, handsome. Well, he looked at the valves. He said, nope, no good. NG. He doesn't like them. He doesn't think they're good. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys out. We're going to see what's going on with this head and see how these valves are, and you can see the difference. So, let me try to set you up here so you can see what's going on. I got my hokey tripod, so hopefully this will work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set alright, hold on. Alright, so again, compress the spring so I can pull the retainers out like that. Then use a piece of magnet. Give me a hand. Use a piece of magnet. Alright. Well, I did ask for a hand. Take the retainers out. Undo the spring. Anytime you do this, put safety glasses on, because there's a tremendous amount of pressure on these springs. And if one of these lets go, you're going to be the first to know. Alright, so I just line this up with my spring. Compress it, the spring, till my containers come out. And then I can get in here and pull the clips out. Like that. Alright, so we want to take these two valves out and see if they're any better than the other ones. Let's see what we got. These actually do look better. Come on, zoom in. Hold on, YouTube, I'm working on it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So, see this? It's just carbon buildup. So let's throw it on the wire brush. Let's see what we look like. Mailman's here. Ruby does not like the mailman. Be right back. Alright guys, you would be amazed at how, come on, focus. There we go. You would be amazed at how that's carbon buildup. It's not pitted. It's actually carbon buildup. Carbon buildup, okay, gets caked on and burned on to your valve. So what you think is clean is not as clean as you think it is. So take your time and get the carbon off. It looks pitted, but it's not. It's actually carbon deposits. So I gotta do a little bit more wire brush on that. Get those carbon deposits off. Now this is from the original 5.4. That valve is clean. Let's look at this one. So this is out of the 4.6. Because I was taking heads, I was going to say, okay, let me start cleaning the 4.6. Because I have an idea for these heads. And I started to clean. I'm real sorry about the focus here. I started to clean this. But you could see that? See that right there in the lower left? That's carbon still left on the valve. When you're upside down, the valve material, you put in a little bit of lubricant on this, okay, and then your valve material or your lapping compound can go down or into the valve guide. Once it goes into the valve guide, that's a major problem because it can grind this up, making this area in here, this is the valve guide, making that way too big, and then the valve moves all over the place. Alright, so normally you take your head, you flip it over, right? You use your lapping tool, you just stamp it down, you go like this, back and forth, stamp it down a couple times, back and forth. You do that about 4 or 5 times, and then until you got a good grind. This is where you put your compound, right? Valve grinding compound. You see it on the camera? Yeah. I'll put that in, making sure that I don't get it on the stem itself, because it will go in this guide and shred that guide faster than you know what to do with. I'm going to take a fuel line which has got braided outer covering on it, rubber fuel line, fit it over the valve. Then I'm going to put it on the drill. Yep, I know, some of you are like, no, don't do it. So I'm going to apply pressure on the valve just to hold it in place while it spins just a little bit. Okay? Can you see that? Alright, I'm going one direction, then I'm going to stop, and we're going the other direction. Now everybody's like, well, when do you know when enough is enough? When you don't feel, when it feels smooth. Okay? When it doesn't feel like you're crunching sandpaper together. And I'm going back and forth, forward and reverse, okay? I'm going to tap it. Okay, and that feels good. We'll pull this out. Everybody always sits there and says, okay, when you lap your valves, how do you know when it's good and when it's not good? Well, that's a good question. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that your seating surface is even all the way around. The valve stem seal, I put him on there, and you can see, well, you can't see because my big hands are in the way, but you can see that, look at that, it's not all the way down. Okay, so you just take a socket, push down on it, and then that will go all the way down like that. And double check. My big head in the way? No. Okay. Alright, now these two are ready for springs. So I'm going to get this other head out of the way, and I'm going to put some springs on. Okay, I didn't want to show you because it's a lot of time and it's boring. But you see these? These are your relock retainers. Okay? And you want to make sure, without a doubt, that they're both at the same height. I did this one and then this one here because this has got a double lock in it. Okay? There's two locks. One there, one there. One of them was not locked in all the way. So one was higher than the other one. So you want to make sure, okay, and double check that all of these are locked in. Because the second you start banging on these things and that lock comes out, that valve's going down, and that's going to be the end of your motor. So it's very important that you do that. Okay. So these two are done. Flip it over. And look at how she's looking. Everything looks nice. Alright. Now, what we're going to do after this, after we're done, we'll put a plug in, and then we have to take a CC measurement. First, we want to sit there and fill this up with water and make sure the valves don't leak, so they're seating properly and that they don't leak. That's a must. If they do leak, you have no compression. If they do leak, you got garbage, so you got to start all over. Okay. So that's step one. Well, step one is to put all the valves back in, but step one, we'll look at that, and then once they don't leak, then we're going to do a CC comparison and see how many, what the volume is of this, because we're going to need that later on.